Hello everyone, and welcome to our LinkedIn Live event today. As always, we are happy to host you, happy to share information with you, and we invite you to be with us as we talk about hyperautomation in the age of AI. And our special focus today is AI plus RPA. So welcome. So let's get into the agenda for our call today. We're going to have a chat about our story, and then we'll also talk about the dot-com bubble. And then after that, we'll get right into our topic for today, which is AI plus RPA, which is robotic process automation. And then we'll proceed to Power Platform tools, and our specific tool of interest today is Power Automate Desktop. After that, we're going to have a demo, a first one. And as we always want to do with you, we want to share more than one. So after the first demo, we'll do a second use case. And then finally, we'll talk about the business value and benefits that you get from here. And we'll engage in a question and answer session. Yeah, so let's proceed and get to know us. So my name is Martin Muchuki. I'm a Power Platform developer at Amli, and Amli is an industry leader in the field of data and AI. We started in 2017, and we've grown. Currently, we serve close to 100 clients across multiple industries. So how we drive growth is through expertise in having a personalized approach to every organization. And we also have strategic partnerships with leading tech providers so that you can give you the best solution based on what you need. And majorly, our solutions are in the field of data and analytics, artificial intelligence, collaboration tools, and digital transformation. So as you can see here, we've been certified. We are a Microsoft Solutions Partner, and you can see some of the other organizations that have certified us to work with them, and also certified as a Microsoft Fabric Trainer, meaning we get to train an organization on how they can make better use of the tools available so that you can get the maximum benefit from your data and from the automation tools. So yeah, feel free to reach out to us and we can engage on any of these topics as we continue working together. So with that, we're going to get right into our demo today. And before we start, let's rewind a while back. So this was in the last decade of 20th century, where we had the dot-com bubble, where every organization just slapped a .com at the end of their business name, just so that they can be part of the rush that was there at that moment. So an example, we had pets.com, amazon.com, and many other companies did that. I'm sure if you and I had our companies back then, we would be doing the same because that was the hype that was then at the moment. But we find that not all companies survived that. For example, we have pets.com. It got to get investors. People invested in the whole internet company idea, but for pets.com that didn't materialize, and it's not. We all know the story of how that went. But on the other side, we have amazon.com, and Amazon was part of that, but for them, they solved real problems, and that's why they were able to grow and scale to the Amazon we know right now. So history repeats itself, and that's the situation we are in right now, that every company wants to be an AI company now, and every business is rushing to add AI. But what we are not supposed to forget is that the goal here is not to chase the hype, rather it's to solve real problems so that you can be able to remain sustainable even beyond the hype. So one thing is that we are not against AI. As we introduce ourselves, we're also a data and AI company. What we're trying to share here is that how about instead of replacing everything, every piece of automation, including the simple automated processes with AI, how about we conjoin the two and get to have a better experience? Because, for example, in healthcare, yes, we're so happy AI is headed to a level of diagnosing patients, but the real value that we can get in healthcare right now is if we can automate things like the forms, the billing, the insurance claims, and all. So that's the major pain point in healthcare right now. So what if we can focus on that automation piece first before we fully transition to where AI can diagnose our patients? Same goes to governments. Yeah, we say AI is headed to a point where it will run countries, but right now, the biggest thing that a government wants is automation in the small processes like tax forms, the different permits we get from the government ministries, data entry, and all that. So the same case goes to finance. Yes, we want AI to predict markets. It's already doing that, but there's more value in the automation pieces, like the know your customer, loan processing, fraud checks, and this goes on and on. For example, when you talk about education, before replacing our teachers with AI, how about we automate the whole grading processes, transcripts, attendance, basically uh, all these processes that happen. For example, in energy, yes, AI is controlling grids, but as it does that, how about you also automate the meter billing and basically all these small processes? So this leads us to the solution that we advise, or yeah, what we've brought to you today. That instead of transitioning everything to AI, how about we combine AI with the robotic process automation? Because remember, when we had the electricity revolution, everyone jumped to electricity before streamlining the workflows, and we know what happened. Same thing with the mobile app gold rush. When the first iPhone was introduced, everyone went to designing mobile apps, even in situations where a simple website would have done the trick. So that's the mistake we don't want to repeat by transitioning everything to AI when we can make use of automation, and in this case, the robotic process automation. We have a few examples here. AI is smart. AI extracts insights from unstructured data. On the other side, RPA does the automation of the repetitive rule-based tasks. So when we combine the two, we're sure we're going to have an end-to-end automation where AI reads and RPA executes. And we're going to see this in action so that we can see how RPA and AI can do some of these things. So at the moment, AI is probabilistic in that it can guess wrong in some places, but for RPA, it's deterministic because it's rule-based. It's following what we've instructed it to do, and it even copies or mimics what you as the user is doing. So when you combine the two, we're going to have AI handling complexity, and on the other side, we're going to have RPA ensuring accuracy. And then we said AI is smart, so it's great for decision support and pattern recognition. And then RPA shines when it comes to routine execution. That's clicks, keystrokes, file handling, and such. So a combination of the two means that you will have business processes that combine both intelligence and execution. And then when we talk about the cost, AI is more complex and has higher costs powering the AI models and all. But for RPA, it's a low cost and fast to set up because we have the existing tools, with some of them being free and some of them being a subscription model that's manageable. So we're here talking about how we can have a balanced approach, that we are both cost effective on one side and we are smart on the other. And we all know AI needs training and monitoring, but for RPA, it's just recorders and actions. It's this. So let's combine the two and scale automation across both modern and legacy systems. And we're going to see this in a moment. So before we get to the demo, the tool one of the tools that we can use for RPA is Power Automate Desktop. And Power Automate is part of the larger Microsoft Power Platform, which is an AI-first platform for everyone to build enterprise-wide solutions and automations. And within Power Platform, we have these five major ones. We have Power Apps, which is an internal app development application that can connect to different databases, including Dataverse, SQL Server, SharePoint. So this helps us in building applications that are authenticated, that you use internally within your organization. And then we have Power Pages, which is for website development. This for the anonymous users, and it's also connected on the back end with Dataverse as its database. So if you are an authenticated user, then you can be able to view the data. And then this is what you use for forms and things that you want to have outside to the broader public. And then we have Power Automate, which is our tool of interest today, which is used for hyper automation. You can automate workflows, and we have the Power Automate Desktop, which is for RPA, and then we have Cloud Flows, which is the DPA, Digital Process Automation. So the digital process automation works when you have APIs that can connect to different systems. But when you don't have an API, then that's when you use the Power Automate Desktop. And then we also have Copilot Studio, which we've talked about in previous events, which is what we use to build the AI agents. And we've done demos on this for you, and you can view some of them in our LinkedIn feed here. And then lastly, we have Power BI, which is for business analytics, and this is for decision makers to just have like a summarized view of the processes. And so we're going to see most of these in action today, and they are powered by Dataverse. They're part of a managed environment, and for example, Power Apps is powered by Power FX, which is the language. So with that, let's get to our tool of interest today, which is Power Automate. And we say Power Automate is an AI native, comprehensive enterprise task automation platform. So what Power Automate does, it has four key areas, things. So the first one is Discover, which is process and task mining, where you can discover in your business processes what can you automate. And then when you discover, then we go to the automation piece, where you can either automate, it's the UI automation, it's low code, and it has AI features like intelligent document processing. And then the third piece is monitoring. It's part of a managed platform, so there's end-to-end observability and governance. And finally, security. So there's enterprise-grade security and performance. So when you talk of automation, we have this four here. So RPA is the UI automation, robotic process automation, and this is what we said we do using Power Automate Desktop. So this is where you just record clicks and actions that you want to do, and we have now the system uh, imitating what you're doing and doing it on its own. It takes over your screen and proceeds with the actions that you introduced to it. And we have unattended and attended RPA. And then when you go to cloud automation, so this is a cloud flow that now connects with systems that have an API. So, for example, I want to pull data from a database and there's an API connection, then I'll use a cloud flow. But if I want to send data to a system that does not have an API, then that's the point I use the RPA, Power Automate Desktop. And then we have Power Automate having AI as part of it in the intelligent document processing, and Power Automate is able to use connectors to connect to external sources, that's data sources, to connect to Power Platform itself. So yeah, there's all this, and we're going to have a look at some of them. So yeah, this is a snip of Power Automate Desktop. Remember we said Power Automate Desktop it's our tool for robotic process automation. In this case, the one when you're connecting to systems that do not have APIs. So there's examples of what you can do where there's Excel automation where you can automate repetitive Excel tasks like extracting and storing data into Excel files. You can read and manipulate cells, and you can even manage spreadsheets with this. And there are more. There's web automation where you can automate web applications, populate forms, extract structured data from web pages, and even create reports using web data. Another example category is the desktop automation, where now your machine, you can launch applications, you can interact with Windows, you can extract data for further processing. And then we have date time handling, which handles date and time data, can help you perform calculations. And all these are examples. There's more. Yeah, so we have things like PDF automation, where you can automate PDF workflows. You can extract data from PDF pages, manipulate PDF files, and even generate new files by splitting a larger document. And there's more. There's text manipulation, there's scripting, there's flow control. There's basically loads and lots of things that you can do with Power Automate Desktop. So yeah, we've talked about RPI, and there's a question of are they free tools or are they licensed tools? So yes, we have examples of tools you can use for RPA, both within Microsoft environment and outside. So for example, for Power Automate Desktop is free. So if you're doing actions within your machine, then you can download Power Automate Desktop and get to automate the different tasks you have locally there. And then we have a free trial as well, where you can experiment with UI-based cloud flows and standard connectors. And if you want to go premium, we have a subscription of $15 per user per month. And you can see that now comes with, you have the cloud flows, the digital process automation, the desktop flows, which is the RPA, the process and task mining. You even have AI builder service credits, and you even have a database. And that goes on and on. If you want a per bot, it's $150. And yeah, we have this running in an attended mode. And if you want to host this so that it runs on its own, then it's $215, where it's hosted in a virtual machine. So yeah, it doesn't take over your screen, it runs on its own. And there are more tools. For example, there's you can automate with N10, and you can see they also have packages starting with as low as $20 per month. And we also have UiPath, which starts at $25 per month. We have automation everywhere. We have Blue Prism. So we have so many tools that you can use for this. Yeah, and now with that, we're going to do our first demo piece. So for us, we're going to use Power Automate Desktop, and we're going to show you how it can run on its own to do a few tasks. So with that, let's get into the demo. So in our last event, we talked about AI, and we had a demo of an autonomous recruiting agent. So let's do a continuation of what we had. So let's use a use case where you have sorry. So you have a recruitment spree, and you have many people applying. So what we currently have is when people apply, their resumes are stored in a shared folder. And then you have a system where you want to organize this in terms of the name, the contact, the email, and their resume. So we're going to do to show a demo of how RPA, and in this case, Automate Desktop, can do that for you. And remember, we said that it's not just RPA, it's RPA with AI inside. So we're going to show you how it's running, it's recording the actions you want to do. And after it has learned from you, it now continues and does it anonymously. So you can see we have, so these are the resumes stored in a folder. These are shared folder where when people apply, the resumes come here. And then we're going to launch Power Automate Desktop. And then we're going to record the actions we want to do. And so this is the portal we want to move these resumes to, where we want to organize them in full name, email address, phone number, and we're also going to upload that specific file. So we're going to do a step, and Automate Desktop will learn from that and do the rest on its own. Yeah, so we're going to launch Automate Desktop, and we're going to have a look at the different ways you can record or instruct Automate Desktop to learn from what you want to do. So here we go. So this is Automate Desktop. As you can see, there are two ways you can do. You can either describe the actions you want, and you can also record. So the recording is easier because you can even talk, and it is going to capture what you've said, transform your instructions into steps, and with those steps, get to do the actions. So let's start the recording. So yeah, so when you click start, this pop-up appears. Um, yeah, this pop-up appears where you can record with AI. So we can click on new recording. We select the microphone, the screen share, the speaker so that it can listen to what you're saying. And then we are advised to keep the recording to 5 minutes or less, and as well use the mouse and move between screens so that we're doing what we want the automation to do. So it's recording and copying what you're doing. So when we start recording, we go to our folder which has the resumes, and so it's capturing the specific folder we want. We open one of the resume, we show it, we want this name, this the email, and this the phone number. And after you capture that, go to the web form and click on add a new candidate, input the full name, email, phone, and choose file. So, and then you submit. So it's learning from it's recording what we are doing. And from that, you can see here's the recording. So these are the instructions. So it has had that we have this folder with different regiments, and we need to open each of the resumes. And for each of these, we need to take the candidate name, the candidate email, and the candidate phone number, and then navigate to this other website. Click on add new candidate, fill in these fields with the data, and upload the PDF and submit the application. So it has captured the instructions we've given it, and it's taking some moment to analyze the transcription and create the actions for us. So what's happening here now, there's an LLM that's powering this process, that's converting our audio to a transcription, and now the transcription to the specific steps that we want our automation to do. So yeah, we're almost there in gathering the steps. So the next piece will be the Automate Desktop will give us the steps that we have recorded, and we can edit or change or add on to that. And then if we are satisfied, we just run it, and it will now start running on its own. So there we go. It has opened Power Automate Desktop for us. So these are all the steps that it was able to capture. So yeah, you can see the instruction, get the path of the desktop folder, get the list of files, look through each PDF, extract the text data, and then call GPT now, the smart AI to capture the specific fields we want, convert them to a JSON, and open the web browser and fill in that. And you can see it was even able to capture the specific folder where we've stored those files, and it is even filtering with a PDF, because that's how our resumes are saved in. And then you can see the different steps and the instructions as a GPT. So yeah, so the specific instructions, if we preview this create text with GPT, we can see there's instructions that the Automate Desktop is using to capture the specific fields we want. So here it is, that extract specific fields from the text, outputting them in JSON. And it has even separated that the specific fields we want are the name, the email, the phone number, and now the actual file uploading it. So yeah, you can see. So this is AI within RPA. So that's why we're saying, instead of using one or the other, how about we combine them both? So yeah, after we view this, then we can proceed and do a test. So we're going to, we're now going to run this, and it will on its own get to do the specific steps we've instructed it to. So let's run it, and you can see it moving from step to step. It has gotten to create text with GPA, and it's now launching the portal. So yeah, clicks on add application, extracts the information. You can see it at this point, it's uploading the resume. And once it's done with one, it repeats the same process. So open browser, add new candidate, name, email, phone, upload the resume, and we are done. Again, it's picking the folder, and because we had 3 resumes, that's why it has iterated 3 times. So assuming we had 100 of these, then it could have done 100 times getting to add the candidate's information. So this is the part where we're saying it might seem like it's something small, especially when you see this, but assume you had 1,000 of these and you wanted to add this information manually. This would eat into your time, and that's productive time, that's creative time that you could have used in different business processes. So yeah, that's why we're saying let RPA do some of these things for you as you focus on creative work and other business processes. So with that, we're going to proceed to the next piece of our conversation. So yeah, we're now going to do a different use case. So we've seen how we can use RPA and AI in recruiting, in connecting to our legacy systems that do not have APIs. So let's now go to the other side and interact with the other set of Power Platform. So every week for organizations running businesses, we have invoices flooding our inboxes, and someone has to open each one, copy numbers, retype details, and it's a whole repetitive, slow, and just it's a menial task that wastes our time, energy, and it delays the actual value that we want to get from our resources and our people. So what can we do with this? So with Power Platform, we can create an end-to-end solution that can help us work around this use case. And again, we're going to have AI Builder acting as the smart one, the AI that will power our automation process. And then we're going to have Power Automate desktop and cloud flows handling the data movement. So this is something similar to what we've seen in the previous demo. And then we're going to have Dataverse acting as our database, which will store our data. And then we can view the information and the data we've submitted with Power Apps. And finally, we can have a visual with Power BI for instant insights, especially for our decision makers. So this is the end-to-end architecture of how that looks like. We have our emails. We have the flow starting from our emails, where when someone sends us an email, it will trigger the AI Builder to process the invoice, capture specific information, and then the RPA or DPA in this case will transfer that information from AI Builder either through to Power Apps or Dataverse table. And then from here, we can get to have insights. And we can also monitor this process, where we can have an approval system that sends notification to our Microsoft Teams or email for us to approve with the specific details. So let's proceed and see that. So let's open this. So we'll start off with Dataverse. Dataverse is like the database that will power this system. So when an invoice comes, it will extract the invoice number, the amount, the contact of the organization that has sent the invoice, the date, and the status if it's approved, pending, or rejected. And then the other side to this is Power Apps. So Power Apps is where is where we can edit an existing invoice. There's the details, the invoice amount, the status. So we can edit this, or we can even add new. So this is another application where we can have RPA doing the transfer for us, picking them from email and writing them here, or we can since this has APIs, we can connect this directly with the cloud flow so that it can either write to our database, and then we can view from this application. And we said we can edit an existing invoice. So if we close this and open an existing invoice, then we can edit that and change the amount. Yeah, and do many things with such an application. So this is like an invoicing tool. And you can as well manage this by you can delete some of the records, and basically there's so much you can do with this. So we can delete a record like this one, and yeah, are you sure you want to delete? And we do it with that. But let's have a look at the automation piece at the one that's running on its own. So in this case, this is a DPA because it's a cloud flow. It's a digital process automation. So what you're going to do, we're going to send an invoice via email, which will trigger this workflow to run. And then we'll have the AI, the smart AI in one of the processes to extract the information we need. And then from that information, since we want to manage the whole process, we're going to request for a notification where we can either approve, reject, or decide that we're not sure of this record, so let's process this manually. And then afterwards, you're going to see a Power BI with now the details for the decision makers view. So let's proceed and do that. So I'm going to drag this one here and send an email that has a subject that says it's an invoice being shared. And then we're going to attach an existing invoice. So yeah, so we can pick an invoice here and we send this. So what we expect that to do is to trigger a workflow similar as this. So we are going to refresh here and wait for our workflow to start running. Yeah, so let's refresh this, and yes, you can see there's a workflow that started running 2 seconds ago upon receipt of that invoice. So we are expecting to get a notification to our teams that, hey, there's an invoice that has been shared, and we expect that the details will have been extracted so that it makes it easier for us to approve or reject. So actually, you can see here, just now, 11:45, we've gotten a new invoice has arrived. The details are the invoice number, the date, the amount, and the vendor who has sent us the invoice. And then there's a question, do I want to approve this invoice? So if I feel like this invoice has an error, I'm going to reject, or I can have it as processed manually. That way we can look into this and see why did that happen. Otherwise, if I feel like everything is correct and that's my feeling right now, I'm going to approve. So I can add comments or yeah, anything. And then I submit. So when I submit this now, it says your response was sent to the app, meaning the workflow is now continuing with its processes. So let's open it up and see what happened. All right, so here's our workflow that's running behind the scenes. So we've instructed it to always check my inbox folder, and it has to check that an email contains attachments, and also so that this process does not run every time I receive an email, including a notification or just anytime anyone sends me an email. So I've added this subject filter such that it will only process that email if it has an invoice as part of the subject. And then, so this is the smart one, this is the intelligent one. So what came in was an invoice file, the PDF that we sent via email. But our smart one has identified that there's a date inside, and the date is August 8th. It has identified that there's an invoice ID inside my invoice. It has identified the amount, yeah, and even the vendor name, the currency, and all the details. So basically, our smart one has been able to open up the invoice and extract the key information pieces, and those are the same ones that were sent to us. That the number, the date, the amount, and all that. So after our smart one does that, now they post the options to me so that I can either approve, reject, or process manually. So these are the pieces where we are saying instead of burdening AI with all these, how about we strike a balance? We have RPA doing all these repetitive tasks, but we also have the smartness working behind the scenes. So yeah, so we have that, and that now gets us to the steps. And since we approved, the other process continues running. And then the final piece to this is the report, where all this, if we decide to let it run unattended, it means we don't have to. So when we confirm that 10 out of 10 invoices are right, the information is extracted as we want, then we can transition the system not to expect an approval, but to run behind the scenes. And when that's happening, it stores, it picks the data from my email, processes it, and then stores it in our database. And we can even create a report out of it where a decision maker will come here and see this is the total invoice amount. This is the latest date you had the invoice. this is the invoice amount by different organizations, by date, and there's another simplified table which can give quick insights from the data we have. So yeah, so that's the other piece when you're using digital process automation. There's benefits to that where digital process automation can do all these things with APIs where from emails all the way to a report, it's happening behind the scenes. And same case to RPA, if you want it hosted in a virtual environment, then it can run unattended. But for the attended one, you either have to approve or it will take over your screen, like we saw in the other demo, that it's now doing things on its own without my intervention, but I can now not use my computer when that's happening. So those are the differences there. And then we've seen different benefits that come up from these, where we can save hours every week. We can reduce errors because we have our smart one going and taking care of. We have the smart one doing the intelligent pieces, and we have RPA doing the repetitive work. So we reduce errors, we save hours, and we can even scale across departments because we've identified, we've done a demo of two use cases, the hiring process and the invoicing system. But what if there's more? We talked about government, we talked about the energy sector, we talked about healthcare. We have departments that need this more, and they need this to run unattended so that it does the repetitive tasks and leaves people to do creative work. So that's the whole piece. And when we talk about scaling, when we have it running in a virtual environment, that means it can do as much work as possible. And remember, we even saw the licensing costs, and it's pretty manageable, and it does not have the hidden costs that we have when we expose all this to AI only. So yeah, so that's that. And then yeah, with that we get to our next steps. So you've seen what can be done. You've seen what RPA can do, what DPA can do, what a combination of AI and RPA or AI and DPA can do. And we want that for you. We want to start your automation journey. So we want you to be happy, like these executives here, because you have systems running behind the scenes, and you're now left to do the creative work. Yeah, the what's fun to you. So what you're going to do is how we do it. We're going to engage with you, and then get to do process mining. The one we saw with our RPA. So we're going to basically have a chat about your business processes and see where and how can we automate. And then we're going to see what exactly do you need. Do you need AI agents? Do you need RPA, or do you need a combination of the two? And then when we have that discussion, we'll do a proof of concept for you so that we can demo to you what that can look like before you decide to go all in. And then after that, we'll have you get to enjoy and be happy as things get going in the background. So that was it for today, and thank you so much. We look forward to hosting you again in our next event. Yeah, so we'll be talking more about the insights piece. It will be a dashboard in a day where we'll train you how to do this and generate these insights for your own organization. So thank you, and we hope to keep engaging with you.